Melissa Dowdy. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Oh, they really know. No, that's good, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it, y'all. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I'm super excited to be here. I've been on the road for several weeks, and one of my favorite parts of being on the road is when I get that GPS and I put that destination address in, and that little estimated time of arrival pops up. I think we'll see. We'll see. Challenge accepted. I can knock a half hour off that any day of the week. Any day. I went to the fanciest McDonald's you've ever seen in your life in Charlotte, North Carolina. I walked in, I got a 4-piece chicken nugget and a sweet tea, and when I paid, she gave me one of those beeper things you get like at the Outback if there's a long wait. I said, what's that for? She said, when your food's ready, that'll go off. I said, I understand the technology. I just don't think it's necessary. I just got an 8-piece chicken nugget and a sweet tea. She said, well, go get your tea. And I said, fine. And I walked over, I got that thing about halfway full of ice, and that thing just starts beeping and flashing. I said, look, it's just you and me and this guy. You could just said, hey. Your 24-piece chicken nugget's ready. I'd have walked over, got my 32-piece chicken nugget, and left with my 64-piece chicken nugget, and ate it in the car because I'm a grown woman. And that's how that is. I got my eyebrow done just for this occasion. And now there's 2. And you are welcome. I don't know why I do that. I go in, they put that hot wax on my face. She rips the hair out by the root. I pay her. I tip her. It's the same woman every time. Without fail, she always says, you want me to get through your mustache? I don't. You sure? Yeah, thanks, but I almost felt pretty for a second, so there's that. Oh, Lordy. I'm single. What? I know, I'm just as pretend surprised as you are. I was getting some clothes out the dryer the other day. I accidentally dropped a pair of my underwear on a cobweb. And I thought, that is ironic. I just kidding. I have started dating recently. We did not meet online, where the odds are good, but the goods are odd. Here's a few tips for online dating. Please do not use your mugshot as your profile picture. And cut your spouse entirely out of the picture. That's helpful for everybody. I love a good wedding. Anybody here love a wedding? Oh, God, I do too, but it's embarrassing how much I cry. I cry way more at a wedding than I do at a funeral. And I know it's because at a funeral, I'm convinced the person's going to a better place. You don't know at a wedding. You don't know. It could go either way. I've never once left a funeral and thought, that is never going to work out. I give it a year, she'll be back. Never once. Weddings are easy. It's marriage. It's so hard. All that communication and compromise. A lot of people don't want to do that. At the time this happened, my friend had been married 28 years. She got up one morning, walked downstairs to get herself a cup of coffee, passed her husband on the couch and said, good morning. He said, she's like, wow, what a jerk. She didn't even look at him. She just kept walking. She thought, you know what, you do your thing and I'll do my thing, and maybe we can have a real conversation later when you're less of a jerk. She got her coffee, came back in. Turns out he had had a stroke. He's okay, thanks for asking. But that's what we do. We just assume the person we're with is just being rude, right? Now, my grandparents were married for 64 years in a row to each other. That's remarkable to me, remarkable. But you look at each other different after all those years. She wanted to try something different. She put on some clear lip gloss, see if he'd notice. He did. She walked in. He said, hey, where'd you get the fried chicken? Nobody's hiding chicken from you, old man. She was 1 month older than him, 1 month older than him all those years, and she hated it. She made him die first. She hated it. The day we buried him, I went out to the bar, because that's what you do. And it was a long time ago. And the bartender was like, oh, you're all dressed up. You got a job interview? And I was like, no. We buried my grandpa today. And they said, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, it's okay. He was dead. You should have seen all those other times. He's a fighter. Oh, man. It was like the hokey pokey burial. You get one leg in, he kicked that leg out. You get another arm in, he kicked that arm out. Oh, Lord. I went to the gym one time, and y'all are rude. I did. I went to the gym one time. Here's the thing. You probably can't tell from where you're sitting, but I like to eat. And that got way more serious than I was expecting. They were like, you're right, girl. We can't tell. We love you. Yeah, thanks. So I decided what I'd do is I'd start packing a lunch. I'll lose some weight. I'll save some money. Win-win. Day one, get in the car, put the lunch down, take off down the road. Immediately, my seatbelt light indicator just started going crazy. Y'all, my lunch was so heavy that my car thought there was another human being in the vehicle, was concerned for its safety. So I buckled it up. I started using I Can't Believe It's Not Butter spray. Have you seen that? Delicious. I don't know why they put a spray top on it. I just take that off. I use it like it's a gravy or a dipping sauce of some kind. I did that day I went to the gym. First, I'll tell you about this gym in Arkansas where when you walk in and you swipe your badge, the number of days since your last visit pops up. Oh, hell no. 4,228 days. That's bad for the self-esteem. That's terrible. I don't know if you're familiar with the satanic torture device known as the elliptical. I got on it, and I was serious. I did 45 minutes, y'all, 45 minutes. I almost died. I saw Jesus, and he said, you should get down, which was rude. As I was leaving, they were giving away free pizza with I Can't Believe It's Not Butter Spray dipping sauce. Like I can say no to that. I said, what's this about? They said, job security. Wow. They weren't wrong. 4 pieces later, me and Jesus back on the elliptical. That's how it goes. I did that P90X for a while. You familiar with that? I do not recommend it at all. I did it for a week. I was so sore, lost use of my arms entirely. I was so grateful I don't have any children. I couldn't have cared for them. Been like, Mama can't help you today, honey. You're going to have to make your own sandwich. Now get in there. Had a personal trainer for a while. He was a beautiful, beautiful black man. Had about 7% body fat, and I thought, this is a man I could sweat for. Halfway through the first session, I thought, am I the victim of an elaborate hate crime? I don't know whether to pay him or press charges. He's got a class, it's called Ripped. I ain't taking that class. Ripped. That's not going to end well. It's like going to a restaurant called Choked. That doesn't make a lick of sense. Not a lick of sense. A couple years ago, I rode my bicycle from where I live in Salem, Virginia, to the coast, and that's 378 miles. To prepare for that, I rode 554 miles. Those of you without a calculator this evening or terrible math skills such as myself, that's 932 miles in 4 months, and I lost 6 pounds. I'm pretty sure God hates me. 6 pounds. I did the math. I'm 8,000 miles from my goal weight. Turns out I'm not fat. I'm just fuel efficient. So, that's something. Well, I wrecked when I was training for that and had to go to the doctor to get some gravel out of my arm. They ask you stupid questions like, do you drink? And I said, no. They said, do you do any drugs? And I said, no. He said, what about street drugs? I said, who says yes? Are you sleepy? You need a little bump to get you through the night? I got some cocaine in the car. I can hook you up. And do I look like I partake in a drug that might have a side effect of weight loss? This is not a crack pipe physique, is what I'm saying. No one has ever looked at me and said, I bet that girl's on crack. Look at her. Say that girl has met a potato. She has killed a pig or two in her day. But never once have I been accused of being on crack. Do you have any allergies? Yeah, gravity. Gravity. I fell in the street, and now I need some drugs, so hook me up. I love doing comedy. I've had some terrible jobs in my life. I worked at Walmart for a while during Black Friday. Yeah, that's what my therapist says. Oh. And I'll have you know, I went to Walmart today, and just because some of y'all are not in your pajamas right now, doesn't mean I don't recognize you. You were not incognito. That's what I'm saying. Those slippers were amazing. Here's how Black Friday works at the Walmart. They got sales at 8, 10, and midnight. It's like a nightmare that will not end. At 10:30 at night, I look up just to see how far the line is back, and sure enough, it's back to sporting goods. There's a man at the very back of that line. He's got 3 items. He has a toilet seat, 2 rolls of duct tape. What went so wrong in your house? You got to come out on Black Friday to the Walmart at 10:30 for a toilet seat, 2 rolls of duct tape. I can't even make anything up. If it had been a woman, I may have understood. Oh, he will never leave that seat up again. I promise you that. Worked at Red Lobster for a while. That's good. I love me some cheesy biscuits. Oh, we should meet there after. That's good stuff. Right before I left, they started selling a couple new salmon, sockeye and coho. And it's hard for me to sell a coho because it just kind of sounds like an assistant prostitute. My name's Destiny. This is my coho glitter. It doesn't seem okay. You hear weird things when you're waiting on tables. I passed the table one time and I heard, did you hear what happened to Bob? No, what happened? He died. How? Swallowed a toothpick. What? Now I got to pretend I'm doing something. Because I got to know what happened to Bob. I said, yeah, well, you get to drinking. No, that's not what happens. I'm familiar with drinking. I used to drink to excess. I'll tell you, legally drunk in the state of Virginia is 0.08. The last time I blew a breathalyzer, 0.37. Thank you very much. Only this group would get that kind of. Yeah! I try not to feel proud. I try not to feel. But, and I was walking and talking and winning at ping pong. I was not as drunk as I normally got, and never once have I ever left a bar and thought, hold up, did that last drink have a toothpick in it? It wasn't an umbrella, was it? Because that's dangerous. We should go to the emergency room now. Oh, Lord, I worked in corporate for 13 years. 13 years I worked there. And I think I worked there so long because, well, I'll tell you this first. I worked in corporate for 13 years, and here's a couple of things that happened. Number one, I had a manager, and I don't know a word he said. He would just speak corporate. He'd say things like, just got to get in there and lock arms. Okay. Got to get in there and swing for the fences. Sometimes we're going to hit it, and sometimes we're going to miss. I reckon so with our arms all locked up like that. I think we're going to be able to do anything. He was typing up in meeting notes one time, and he said, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm awful slow. I'm not really much of a typist. I'm more of a pecker. I didn't say it. They had the vending machines there, and I love a good vending machine. And had 5-hour energy drinks and soups and salads and sandwiches, and also had little cans of corned beef hash. I've never once been sitting at my desk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and thought, you know what would power me through the rest of my day? It's just a tiny can of the corned beef hash. Even when I order it on purpose, I always think, why'd I get the dog food? It's never good, never good. I think I was in that job for so long because I hate the job hunt. I hate it. I hate it. You remember that guy that was faking the sign language for that Nelson Mandela thing? You remember him? I feel awful for that guy. Because everybody in here has put something on a resume they can't really do. He was probably just as surprised as anybody else he got that job. I can see him filling out the application now. Excellent communication skills? Yep. Proficient in Excel? You betcha. Fluent in sign language? Sure. They could have done a background check. That wouldn't hurt nothing. But really, we as a public should have picked up on it when he started doing this. I know what you're thinking. How was she single for so long? It is a mystery. I'm getting older, y'all. My body's making noises I never agreed to. There's cracking and popping and all kinds of stuff. I don't even know what's happening. And now I had to get something out the cupboard the other day, and when I stood up, I went, woo! When did I turn 90? And how did that happen? Now I've started to spell. Go down here to Elm, E-L-M. Take a left on the branch, B-R-A-N-C-H. Now, when you get to Sycamore, go one more block to 3rd. That's 3RD, and circle the block.